Today, we're getting into the holiday spirit with 3 make-ahead Christmas desserts that are perfect for busy holiday prep. The holidays are always a whirlwind of activity, right? Shopping, decorating, wrapping presents. It sometimes feels like there are just not enough hours in the day. But don't worry, because we've got you covered. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro in the kitchen, these recipes are easy, delicious, and perfect to prepare in advance. You'll be able to spend more time with your loved ones and less time stressing in the kitchen. Let's get started. First up, we have pecan pie bars. These delightful treats are sure to become a staple at your holiday gatherings. These are a great alternative to traditional pecan pie, offering all the flavors you love in a more convenient form. And they're easy to make ahead for your holiday party, saving you precious time on the big day. They're buttery, nutty, and oh so delicious. Each bite is a perfect blend of sweet and savory. Plus, they're super easy to transport, which makes them perfect for potlucks or cookie exchanges. You can pack them up and take them anywhere without worrying about them falling apart. All right, let's gather our ingredients. This is where the magic begins. You'll need all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, unsalted butter, cold and cubed, large eggs, vanilla extract, pecan halves, light corn syrup, brown sugar, and salt. These simple ingredients come together to create something truly special. We'll start by making the crust. This is the foundation of our bars, so we want to get it just right. In a large bowl, combine the 2 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mixing these dry ingredients ensures an even distribution of flavors. Then, cut in the 1 cup unsalted, cold and cubed butter until the mixture resembles coarse crumbs. This step is crucial for achieving that perfect flaky texture. This is where a pastry cutter comes in handy, but you can also use 2 forks or even your fingers if you don't have one. The goal is to incorporate the butter without melting it. Now, we're going to press the crust into a greased and parchment-lined 9 by 13-inch baking pan. This will make it easier to remove the bars later. Make sure to spread it evenly and press it firmly into the bottom of the pan. An even crust ensures that each bar has the perfect balance of crust and filling. We want a nice, even crust for our pecan pie bars. This will be the base that holds all the delicious filling. Place the crust into a 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius, preheated oven for 18 to 20 minutes or until lightly golden. Next up, the filling. This is where the rich, gooey goodness comes in. In a separate bowl, whisk together the 3 large eggs, 1 cup light corn syrup, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons unsalted butter, melted. This mixture will give our bars their signature sweetness and texture. Then, gently stir in the 2 cups of pecans, coarsely chopped. These nuts add a wonderful crunch and flavor to the bars. Pour this delicious mixture over the crust, spreading it out evenly. Make sure every corner is covered with the filling. Now it's time to bake. This is where all the ingredients come together to create something magical. Pop the pan back into a 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius, preheated oven, and bake 30 to 35 minutes until the filling is set and the crust is golden brown. The aroma will fill your kitchen with holiday cheer. Keep an eye on it, as oven temperatures can vary. You want to make sure the bars are perfectly baked. Once it's done, take it out of the oven and let it cool completely before cutting into bars. This cooling time allows the filling to set properly. You can actually bake these up to 2 days in advance. This means you can focus on other preparations closer to your event. Just store them in an airtight container at room temperature. They'll stay nice and fresh, maintaining their delicious flavor and texture. Pecan pie bars that are easy to make, easy to transport, and absolutely delicious. They're sure to be a hit at any holiday gathering. Your guests will be impressed by your baking skills and will be begging you for the recipe. These bars are sure to become a beloved holiday tradition. Next up is this warm and comforting cranberry orange bread pudding. It's packed with holiday flavors and makes for an amazing dessert for your Christmas dinner. The combination of tart cranberries, zesty orange, and warm spices is just what you need on a chilly winter night. The flavors blend together beautifully, creating a dessert that's both comforting and festive. For this recipe, you'll need French or brioche day-old bread, cranberries, orange juice, zest, milk, eggs, sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, heavy cream, and a pinch of salt. These ingredients come together to create a rich and flavorful custard that will soak into the bread, making it moist and delicious. The bread we're using is a bit stale, but that's okay. In fact, using stale bread is actually better for bread pudding because it soaks up the custard beautifully. Fresh bread can become too mushy, but stale bread holds its shape while absorbing all the flavors. First, we're going to make the custard. This is the heart of the bread pudding, providing that creamy texture and rich flavor. In a large bowl, whisk together the 4 large eggs, 2 cups whole milk, 1 cup heavy cream, 1 teaspoon vanilla, extract, 1/2 cup sugar, 1/2 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg, and a pinch of salt. Make sure everything is well combined. You want a smooth, even mixture that will coat the bread evenly. Then, stir in the 1.5 cups fresh or frozen cranberries and orange zest. The cranberries add a pop of tartness, while the orange zest brings a bright citrusy flavor that really elevates the bread pudding. It's these little touches that make this dessert so special and perfect for the holiday season. Now it's time to assemble our bread pudding. This is where it all comes together. Grease a 9 by 13 inch baking dish and add the cubed bread. Make sure the bread is evenly distributed so that every piece gets a good soak in the custard. Pour the custard mixture over the bread, making sure all the pieces are coated. You want every piece of bread to be saturated with the custard for the best texture and flavor. Then, pour 1/4 cup of orange juice over the top. The orange juice will soak into the bread and add another layer of flavor. This step ensures that the bread pudding is moist and bursting with citrusy goodness. Let the bread pudding sit for about 30 minutes, allowing the bread to absorb all that delicious custard. This resting time is crucial for the bread to fully soak up the flavors. Bake in a 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius, preheated oven, and bake for 45 to 50 minutes, until golden brown and set in the center. To make an optional orange glaze, whisk together powdered sugar and orange juice until smooth. Drizzle over the bread pudding before serving. Serve it warm, perhaps with a dollop of whipped cream or a scoop of vanilla ice cream. It's sure to become a new family favorite. The combination of flavors and the comforting texture make it a dessert that everyone will love. Our final dessert is a showstopper, gingerbread trifle. This dessert is not just a treat for the taste buds, but also a feast for the eyes. This layered dessert combines gingerbread cake, vanilla custard, and whipped cream for a festive finish. Each layer brings its own unique texture and flavor, making every bite a delightful experience. It's the perfect combination of textures and flavors, and it looks absolutely stunning on a holiday table. Imagine the oohs and ahs from your guests as you bring this masterpiece to the table. For this recipe, you'll need gingerbread cake. You can use store-bought or make your own. Vanilla custard, whipped cream, and gingerbread cookies for garnish. These simple ingredients come together to create something truly special. I'm using store-bought gingerbread cake and custard to save time, but feel free to use your own homemade versions if you prefer. Homemade versions can add a personal touch and even more flavor. First, we'll cut the gingerbread cake into cubes. This step is crucial as it ensures that each layer of the trifle is evenly distributed. You can make them as large or small as you like. Smaller cubes will give you more layers, while larger cubes will make the dessert chunkier. Then, we'll layer the cake cubes in a trifle dish or individual serving glasses. This is where you can get creative with your presentation. Make sure to press them down lightly to create an even layer. This helps the custard and whipped cream to spread more easily. Next, we'll add a layer of vanilla custard. The custard adds a creamy texture that contrasts beautifully with the spiced gingerbread. Spread it evenly over the gingerbread cake. This ensures that every bite has a bit of each layer. You can use a spoon or a piping bag for a more elegant look. A piping bag can give you more control and a cleaner finish. We're going for a rustic vibe today, so we'll just use a spoon. The rustic look adds a homey, comforting feel to the dessert. Now, it's time for the whipped cream. This layer adds a light, airy texture that balances the richness of the custard and the spiciness of the gingerbread. We're using homemade whipped cream because it's so much tastier than the store-bought kind. The freshness of homemade whipped cream really makes a difference. But if you're short on time, feel free to use store-bought. Convenience is key during the busy holiday season. Pile the whipped cream on top of the custard, creating a fluffy, cloud-like layer. This layer adds a beautiful contrast to the denser layers below. Finally, we'll crumble some gingerbread cookies over the top for garnish. This adds a delightful crunch and a bit of extra gingerbread flavor. The cookie crumbs also add a decorative touch that makes the trifle look even more festive. You can also add other festive garnishes like cranberries, rosemary sprigs, or even edible glitter. These little touches can make your trifle look like a work of art. You can assemble the whole thing the day before and keep it chilled in the refrigerator. This allows the flavors to blend together beautifully. The flavors will meld together beautifully overnight. By the time you're ready to serve, the trifle will be even more delicious. A stunning gingerbread trifle that's sure to impress your guests. It's the perfect way to end your holiday feast on a sweet and festive note. This trifle is not just a dessert, it's a celebration of the holiday spirit in every bite. If you enjoy any of these recipes, please let me know in the comments how they turned out. I love hearing about your experiences. From my homestead to yours, Merry Christmas.